Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ponderings of the Priest. The thing that I was pondering that I'd like to share with you today is thinking about what gets in the way of our really being with God, of our truly developing a relationship with God. How do we let go of the things that keep us from God? And one of the ways we can begin this process is we have to take a hard look at what I'm going to call our sacred cows are. What are our sacred cows? And you can know you have a sacred cow if you are instantly outraged or threatened about letting it go, or something, as if you're told that it's not true, if this sacred cow that you have is not true, or it requires you to think differently about it, or maybe even let it go. So what are our sacred cows? What are the things we worship? What are the things we idolize? If you think about the story in Exodus, when Moses disappears up the mountain to go and be with God, and people aren't seeking God, they're looking for something tangible. They make the golden calf. They make the sacred cow. So what are the things that we worship? What are the things that we idolize? And these are things that we worship more and idolize more than centering our faith in God alone. So there's the obvious. There's the material. There's the monetary. There's our lifestyles that we idolize, that we worship, that we turn into our sacred cows. But there's the more subtle, and these are perhaps more deceitful than the obvious. That can actually be we can make sacred cows out of our religious practices, where Jesus becomes a lucky rabbit's foot, or we turn our belief in Jesus into some kind of fire insurance, as a friend of mine once called it, where we're either trying to earn our way into heaven or prevent ourselves from going to hell, which, by the way, all becomes works righteousness and contradicts the teachings of Paul. But either way, if Jesus is our lucky rabbit's foot or Jesus is our fire insurance, all of these things are self-focused. I'm thinking about me and what I need to do to make sure I keep this God so that somehow I'm safe. And those are all very self-focused and very self-centered, and they have little or nothing to do with the relationship and faith in God. There are the theological and ideological absolutes that we have, that when challenged, or perhaps someone presents a different theology or a different idea, that we're so locked into what makes us feel safe. We're so locked into what makes us feel good, because again, now we're being self-centered again, that we become challenged, we become threatened, we become outraged that somebody could have the audacity to propose such a theology or a belief. And here's a great irony. Sometimes we even turn the Bible and our interpretation of the Bible into a sacred cow. A great example, and I apologize if I offend anybody, but a great example is the King James Version of the Bible, where you won't let go of that, when in fact it is the worst translation of the Bible that is out there. Have I pushed some sacred cow buttons? Probably. And so I just think it's ironic that we take our interpretation of the Bible and the Bible itself, and we turn that into a sacred cow, instead of letting it be what it's meant to be, of letting religion be what it's meant to be, which is, instead of being something we hold on to as a sense of security, what they're meant to be is an avenue for us to foster and develop a relationship with God and Jesus Christ that will be transforming for us, and not lock us into a certain set of rules and regulations and mindsets. Other sacred cows, Jesus challenged the Sabbath and healed on the Sabbath. He challenged the law and said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. He challenged purity practices where he ate with sinners and outcasts and they didn't wash their hands. He challenged everything that got in the way of God and our relationship with God and with each other. The summation of the law: love the Lord your God with all your heart and mind and soul and strength. A new commandment I give you, to love one another as I have loved you. When we use these as our guidelines for transformation, they cannot become sacred cows or idols, because they require us to take action and not to sit back and try to hold on to something to feel safe. And those are the things that get in our way of our relationship with God and keep us from God. So the thing to ponder is, what are your sacred cows? And maybe you can give them to God and let go of them. Have a great day, everybody.